Welcome back to One Man and 5 Acres. Today, I'm going to talk about my tractor, my RK37 from RK. I've had this for a while. I haven't quite had it for 2 years. So I figured I'm going to do the pros and cons on this tractor. I've been wanting to do a review on this tractor since I've got it. I didn't have a YouTube channel at the time. I do now. So I'm going to direct you of why I bought the tractor, how it's been and how it's been doing in the year and a half that I've had it. As of right now, I'm sitting inside of it. It's 98 degrees outside and it's humid. I mean, it's humid. I feel like I'm in Florida. You step outside, it takes your breath away. So it's usually not that hot up here, but it is today. So anyhow, I'm going to do this video on this tractor. Right now I'm sitting inside of it. It is running and the air conditioning is on and it feels good in here. So the air conditioning works great. So we'll do a little thing on the inside of the tractor and we'll go from there. So I'll flip everything around and show you how many hours I've got on this thing, and I'll show you what I like and what I don't like. But I guess the other question would be, we'll see at the end of exactly what I'd say if I would buy this or I wouldn't buy this. So let's flip this camera around and we'll check it out. All right. Stuffed animals. Granddaughter loves stuffed animals. She likes to ride in here with me, so they're a must. Did not come with the tractor. So anyhow, I have exactly 177 hours on this, almost 178. It has done 2 regens on me. Each time it's done that, I have been able to work through it. It really doesn't create a problem. It comes on for me. 9 times out of 10, I'm running it or I'm mowing with it, so the RPMs stay up the whole time. It does its regen while I'm working it. I've never had any problems with that. The first thing I ever had was the 4-ways. Every time I turned the 4-ways on, it would blow a fuse. It doesn't do that anymore. I called Rule King when I first got it. It was within like the first couple of months that I had it that it started doing that. And I found that it was blowing the fuse. The fuse panel is right down here. And I put a couple of fuses in it and it kept popping immediately. Found out that, well, I could fix this thing myself because I'm a mechanic. But I was like, it's under warranty, I'm not doing it. I called them. They actually came to the house and found out that it was a socket in the back of the tractor was grounding itself out, and they replaced it, and I have never had anything problems with this at all. I did the 50-hour service myself. I did have a problem finding the filter for it, for the hydraulic system, and this is also a hydrostatic. So it all goes through the filter. Well, the filters that they had for this tractor at the time they weren't available. They had changed the size of the filter, and I actually called the guy back that came out from the actual the mobile mechanic, told him the problem, and he knew exactly what it was. He mailed me a filter for it, and I put it on. But before it got there to it, the tractor was down, and I went to John Deere. And this is the same setup, transmission, engine, and everything throughout this whole tractor is the same. And so it's the same tractor that they use. The only thing is this is red and theirs is green. So it's the same transmission as a John Deere. The hydrostat is. So they had the filter. I put it on, got it all fixed. The other one came in the mail. I've got it for a backup for when it needs to be done again. I'll do it at that point in time. The function over here, there's Justin Maynard. He has his own YouTube channel. He talks about the hydraulics going slow. In this one here, it does not go slow. It works pretty fast. This is just idle. This is pretty good for idle. If I was to speed this up, it moves a lot faster. So I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up just to show you that it moves a lot faster than what it would. So it does pretty good. A lot of the other stuff does move a little faster, but this one here, I don't have any problems with it at all. I think it's because it's hydrostat, so I think the pressures and the hydraulic system is a little faster. I do have a third function valve, which they install right here. This little button, and that they install it up here at the front. There's the top hoses right there. That's for the third function valve right there. Have no problems with that. I got the grapple and stuff on there. It's a big dog grapple from Rural King. It's a 7-foot, and this tractor runs it with no problem. I highly recommend a third function valve for the little bit of the money that they are. At the time, I think it was $750 to have it all installed. I had it installed, no problem. But I don't have any problems with the speed of the hydraulics. Yes, they could be a little bit faster, but in the hydrostat, I've noticed that they're a lot faster. I think it's because it flows a lot more volume on the hydrostatic side of the tractor. So as far as everything in here inside the tractor, you know, it has a horn here and your turn signals, all your lights and stuff here. This is where you do your manual regen. It has cruise control, and it also has an idle up. So if you hit the button here, everything idles up. When you push the pedal, it all idles up even faster. Your PTO and stuff's here. I've never had any problems with any of this stuff. Everything works flawlessly. The only thing I do wish is I'm a little bit bigger guy. I have had it to where I've knocked this into neutral in between the shifter for the high, low, and medium ranges for the hydrostat. I was doing a job. I kicked this thing into neutral on accident, didn't even know it, and I was going down a hill, and this thing took off to the races. It's got really good brakes, though, let me tell you. I'm a bigger guy. I do wish that I had a little bit more room in between here on the seat, and the seat doesn't really adjust to my size, but I'm bigger than most people, so it's probably perfect for an average type guy. The doors, I love them. When they close solid. No problems there. You got all your controls and stuff. I have LED lights in the front and back. They're all controlled right here. And I have rear wiper blades, front wiper blade, and I have the washer fluid for front and back. It also comes with a really nice radio in it. It Bluetooths and syncs up with my phone, and I can sit here and talk on the phone if I have a phone call while I'm doing operations. It works pretty good. All of my heat and stuff is right here. It's right there. It's real nice and easy to get to. Their light here does work, but it feels very cheap. See, like right here, it's moving. You got to kind of push it over and then it comes on. It's a little on the cheap side, but it works good. Especially in the, at night if you're in here doing stuff, and I do a lot of things at night at times because I don't have much time. But that's pretty much everything on the inside. I have not really any complaints with anything, other than I do wish I had some more room beside me for the 3-point hitch and stuff and everything. So we're going to go outside and we'll do a walk around, and I'll tell you everything what I think about outside. All right, now that I'm outside, I use this tractor. It is dirty, so it gets used. Like I said, I've only had this about a year and 8 months. It hasn't been quite 2 years yet that I've had this tractor. The seat and everything, I think it's comfortable. I really don't have no problems with it. It is all the way back. I will mention that this has a couple holes here, down here in the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is where it was from the factory. I removed the bolts and I moved this all that way. So the whole seat got moved that way. Because I'm 6'5", it gave me a little bit more room for my legs to move around and sit back. And it will move back that far, and now it's all the way back is where it's at. The seat adjustment, I have it all the way up. So Like I said, I'm just a big guy. I crush it. There's nothing I can do about it. The hydraulic speed and stuff right here, I've got this cranked all the way up, so it goes fast. Now, when you're in transport mode, like if you're driving down the road, you are to turn this all the way off so it locks the hydraulics on the 3-point hitch so it does not fall while you're going down the road. This is the 4-wheel drive lever right here. Never had any problems with it. When I first got it, it was a little stiff, but as I've been using it through the times, it's gotten real easy to go up and down, and it goes in and out real easy. PTO was a little stiff at putting it in. This is the manual part of it, and then once you got it in there, all you do is hit the button on the dash. This I really don't have any problems with. When I first got it, it was stiff about going in. Didn't want to go in right away, but as I've been using it, it's gotten a lot better. So there's that on that part, and we'll go around to the other side and we'll show you on the inside of the seat over there. But these tires, these are the R14 tires. I was very skeptical on getting them. I was thinking about getting the industrial tire on there, but I know industrial tires sometimes when you're in the grass, it kind of wants to tear it up. These right here, they don't tear it up. It does really good on it. Great traction. Highly recommend these tires. They're not thin. The ag tires are real super thin. They look stupid on the tractor. They make it very unstable. These things here are just as wide as the commercial tire, and they're nice and wide and they're stable. They work great. I never had any problems with these tires at all. The bucket assembly, haven't had any problems with that. The quick point hit, or the skid steer quick disconnect, no problems there at all. Works great. Haven't had any problems with everything. Everybody says their stuff leaks. I haven't had any problems with none of my stuff at all. There again, it's a tractor. It's a small tractor. You know, I get that people have had some problems. They've said they have. I have not. I did all my own service, drained everything out, put my own oil in it and everything like that. No problems whatsoever. Everything's dry. I will show you some seepage. There are some seepage places where they are, but it's a tractor. You're going to have some sort of seepage. It's just the way it is, nature of the beast. But no problems whatsoever. Like I said, nothing here. Nothing to have any problem. Here's that 3-point, or the third function valve right here. They mount them right here. This is a great place for it. Now I will say I have busted this line off, and it was more my fault than it was anything. It was not the manufacturers when they put them in there. It was not their fault how they did this. So that was on me. I wasn't paying attention to how I was running the lines, but now I know how to run the lines. But I did break this fitting off right here. I went back to Rural King. They carry these fittings. Obviously, it's probably happened before. Put that new fitting in there. I mean, granted, I had to run to Rural King to go get it and stuff, but all in all, it was a quick fix. Really only took 10 minutes and it was done and back up and going. There again, here's everything here on this side. Changed the oil and everything on it. No problems, no leaks, no nothing. Everything works great. I kind of don't like this being up against the glass, but it always winds up being up against glass. I kind of wish it would stay right here, and I might put a zip tie on it to keep it there, so it's just not on the glass. I don't really care for that, but it doesn't hurt nothing. I have not had a reason to take this off at all. It does have the feet and stuff, so when you do, you can drop this and pull this all off and it'll stand alone. I've never needed to take this off. I probably never will take it off. Over here, you have a lock. This right here locks the system out so it won't go. Just pull it back out and then it rolls again. This right here, I've seen a couple of people have said something about this right here having a problem. I have not had any problems with this. However, I do wish that this right here was offset. along with this, I wish this right here was offset this way just a little bit, so it rides more closer here, and then offset this here to come up a little bit more at an angle here on both sides, so it's not right up against your, basically it's right up against your butt cheek side, your slash your leg. And I don't know how many times I've had this where this gets hit, and the next thing you know, you got an implement falling down. This is for your hydraulics out the rear. Honestly, I haven't used this yet. I have hydraulics that I can run off of this, but I just haven't had a reason to hook anything up and go run it yet. So I'm not too sure how these work back here, if they work good or not, so I can't tell you one way or the other. Eventually I'm going to get a top hydraulic link for my 3-point link, and I'll be using it for that to adjust box blade, stuff like that, wherever I might want it to sit. But there again, right here, down here, this is where I moved the bolt. The bolt was here. I unbolted it, and then I slid this whole seat assembly backwards and rebolted it, which gave me more room because I'm tall. So, and then the mirrors, I love the mirrors. They're great because if they get bumped or whatever, they move real easy. They don't break. They just move real nice. The adjuster for tightening them up's right here. I leave them a little on the loose side, but just enough where they don't go nowhere. They work great. From the factory, it comes with loaded tires. A lot of places charge you for that. And a lot of places are starting to move to having loaded tires if you have a bucket on, but not all of them do it. They charge you for that. This has got that rim guard in it, so it does not rust out the rims. I'll tell you, it works great. I do have this on here, this implement. I just haven't taken it off. I actually use it for pulling potatoes. Works great for that. There's the LED lights on the back. They are super bright. This right here was the first thing that ripped off of there. It's very cheap. It's just plasticed on there. I'm gonna actually go and get an actual metal one to put on there and take care of that. This is pretty cheap. It's flimsy. It's not all that great. Everything here is really good, easy to work on as far as, setting everything up, getting it hooked up to other implements. I mean, it's a 3-point hitch. They're kind of a pain in the butt. They just all are. But other than that, it's really not that bad. This does not have the lever to up and, make these go up and down. But with that being said, when I know I'm going to be doing that, all I do is open this back window open, and I can just reach in there. I'm tall enough that I can reach in there and I can manipulate it from right there. I can reach it with no problem. So if you're a tall guy, it's gonna be easy for you. The fuel tank and everything's right here. I do wish the fuel tank was a little bigger. The fuel tank back here, I do like it back here, but in order to make it bigger, they would need a little bit more room. I think in the design, I think they could go a little bit bigger back here. Because I'm putting fuel in this thing quite a bit. It doesn't help that when it wants to regen, it burns more fuel, which makes no sense. And it's supposed to save fuel. It doesn't. It's just another way of spending more money and you paying the man. That's the way I feel about it. But other than that, I have no problems with this tractor whatsoever. It does have filters right here to filter the air if you want to bring it in, or you can recirculate the air that's inside the cab. I will say this, that if it's hot like it is today, you want to have a recert on the inside of the cab. It makes it a lot cooler in there. You start pulling air from the outside, it doesn't cool it very well. That's a tip if you didn't know that. The valve, the vents in there, if you close them off, it will pull air from the outside. If you open them up, it'll recirculate the air that's inside the cab to keep it cool or to keep it hot. I do not like the toolbox. That there is the toolbox they put in there. It is junk. It's crap. I've got a couple things in there, but all in all, that's the cheapest thing that I could find, on there. Now, the tractors have went up a little bit since COVID. and all that good stuff. I will say that this tractor here, I bought it with the bucket, and I bought it with a set of forks, forklift forks, and I bought the grapple for it, and the third function valve is all I owed, or had them put on it. So that was the extra. Out the door, I paid $36,800. I think it was $890 is what I paid for the whole thing. Deere wanted almost 45 grand for that little bit. I said, nope. I checked Kubota. Pretty much about the same amount of price. But I went around and I checked, and they wanted a lot of money for it. Now, for me, everything that I got here, including the wiper blades, front and back, I mean, this thing, the way it looks, this is what they come with stock. This is just how it comes, you know. There's really no need for extras. I'm sure there's things, some people are like, oh, I could use this or that. I get it. But for all in all, this right here, I would buy it again with no problem. I have no problems buying this again. It's a great tractor. It's 37 horse. It's easy to work on. It's easy to do services on. All in all, it's, you know, it's nice. I have no problems with it. When it runs out of warranty, I will take the emission off of it. There's a way to do that. I'm not going to say how to do it. I do know how to do it. I'm not going to say because, well, I'm just not going to. But trust me, I'm going to take it off as soon as it runs out of warranty. That crap will come off of it. So, is there any pros, or I should say any cons? I don't personally have any. I have not had a day's problem with this tractor at all, except for that fuse popping. Other than that, this thing has worked flawlessly. The R14 tires, I highly recommend them. The only thing that I would probably say that would be a con is when you go to the store, it seems like it takes them a while to get their crap together, to get the paperwork together, to get everything done. Because I went online at home and got the loan for it, and then went there with the numbers and stuff that they give you for the purchase of it. And it took them a while. I was there, gosh, I was there probably 4 or 5 hours just so they could get it set up in the system to get everything done. That was a long process. But the guy said the only reason why it was like that was because, well, they had changed their system over and nobody knew the system. I would think that they would train their guys a little bit better, so when the new system comes up, they know what to do, so they can do that. But other than that, that's about it that I would say that I don't like about it. Everything else, it just runs and it works. It does exactly what I want it to do. I will say that this loader here, this thing will lift some stuff. Now, I think I've lifted, I think it rates it at 2,100 pounds lifting capacity. I've had 22 on it, and it never said no. And I really didn't get, rear end and really never got light, you know, so it didn't really want to lift up. And I've had this thing on hills where I'm lifting some heavy stuff, and it does a great job. I don't try to overwork it, because I know it even though it can do it, doesn't mean I need to do it. It's still a tractor. It's meant for certain things. It's not a, you know, it's not a commercial grade piece of equipment like a skid steer or, you know, something like that that's built to do that. This is not built to do that. It'll do some work, don't get me wrong, and it'll probably do the things you want it to do. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what you should use it for. And you always got to keep that in mind. It's still a tractor. The business end for a tractor is right here. This is the business end of the tractor. On tractors, this is where it's all at. This is where it's made to pull, tug, all that stuff is back here. Up front, not so much. It'll do the things you need it to do, but trust me, you'll wear it out fast if you do. just use it, you know, be smart with it and be wise. So, but that's all I can tell you about this tractor at this time. If there's anything I didn't touch on, let me know. But if I had to replace this tractor, or I wore this tractor out, I would definitely buy another one, or I would go to TYM and buy one. It's the same tractor, exact same tractor, just different color. It says RK on it. You know, that basically RK is just basically paying them to say, hey, put RK on there on your tractor and make it ours. So, but I mean, it's got a Yanmar motor in it. Everybody uses Yanmar motors. They always have for a long time on compacts. So, I mean, you're basically, if you're a John Deere guy, this is basically what it is. The drivetrain is a John Deere. Now, not all the John Deeres use the same thing. Certain models, this is the setup. Certain models, this isn't the setup. Sometimes they have different transmissions in them, but they still use a Yanmar motor. It just depends. So, take it for what it is. This is still cheaper than any of the major name brands, and Yanmar's been around for years. So, and they've been building tractors for forever for just about everybody. So, me personally, this is what I'll buy and save my money every time. So with that being said, I'm gonna cut this video off, but I hope that was educational for you. If there's anything that you need to know or want to know, just leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Been very busy doing garden work. We are picking green beans. I will have a video coming up of canning green beans. A lot of people are really interested in how we can. So we'll definitely get into that, doing green beans. I've got tomatoes already coming on, and everything else is actually starting to really go. So we're gonna end this video, but yeah, if you like these videos, hit the like button, share them with your friends, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll talk to you all later.